Hello, friends. Happy, what is today? Thursday. Ooh, it's Halloween. It's Halloween. Let me see if I can fix. I just like being centered, you know? Oh, okay, let's see. We good there? Yes. How are you guys? Gosh, man, it has been so dry, hasn't it? And it just looks like this pattern is going to continue over the next week. Really warm as well. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you when and where we could get just little tiny instances of rain over the next week. We only picked up a trace of rain. By the way, our temperature and rain gauge is at the airport. That's where we take the official measurements for Atlanta. So some of you may have seen some light showers at times over the last week in Atlanta. So at the airport, which is where we take our official readings, we only saw the teeniest bit trace of rain yesterday morning. So we ended the month of October with only a trace of rain, which made it the driest month on record, tied for the driest month on record with October 1963. We've been keeping records, by the way, since 1878. So what is that? Like 140 years, almost 135 years. Incredible. Unfortunately, that means that the leaves, we have about 10 days of peak leaf color from like now through maybe November weekend after next, November 8th to 10th. Then those leaves are just going to fall off because it's been so dry. Last 10 days, we've only had one unseasonably cool day. We've been in the 70s and low 80s. That is where temperatures will stay. This is the temperature outlook for next week. Look at the eastern seaboard. Well above average temperatures continue through the week. Meanwhile, the southwest is going to get a little bit of a cooler pattern. I do think we could see our next cool off in like November 10th through 15th time frame. Until we get there, first week of November looks very, very warm for us here, okay? So you can just plan on a continuation of this really comfortable weather. I mean, you can't complain about it when we start the day in the 60s and we end at 80. It feels great. It's just not normal for this time of year. 80 degrees today. Even the mountains will be in the 70s for trick-or-treating tonight. The kids are going to love it, and so are the parents. 78 degrees at 5 p.m. At 7 p.m., we're in the mid-70s. At 9 p.m., sun has been down for over 2 hours. We're still sitting in the upper 60s, so really comfortable tonight. Here's a look at our current radar. There is a line of showers along a cold front approaching. Unfortunately, this line looks like it breaks up as it reaches us tomorrow. So you can see it does stay dry for trick-or-treating. If you're going to be out late tonight, we may see a stray shower around midnight. Essentially, we'll get some light rain north of the city around sunrise tomorrow, okay? So, 7, 8 a.m., Rome, Ella J, even North Metro, even Atlanta could see a few showers for maybe an hour or two. And then the mountains may see a few showers linger into the afternoon. This is very light rain. Outside of maybe a stray shower tomorrow afternoon, that's about it. So rain coverage is at about 25-30%. And again, in terms of measurable rainfall, even though you may see some light showers briefly, the only area that's going to get measurable rainfall looks like extreme North Georgia. So Rome, Ella J, Chattooga County, Somerville, you may squeeze out 1/10 of an inch. That's about it, y'all, unfortunately. Okay, other than tomorrow, I'm seeing a potential for very light stray showers on Sunday and very light stray showers on Tuesday. So it's not going to be completely dry. But this rain, if at all, it's not going to be like we get an inch of beneficial rain. It's going to be like intermittent, very light showers, okay? Should not impact voting next Tuesday if you are going to be out. You're not going to need an umbrella or anything like that. There's just a few showers in the forecast for Tuesday. We may finally see some beneficial rain at the end of next week due to this, and it's going to be highly dependent on what ends up happening with this system. This is an area that the National Hurricane Center has highlighted. It's been a few days that they've highlighted this area for potential tropical depression or storm at the beginning of next week. This will be an area where one of those two things could form. Some type of tropical system could form in the Caribbean, and it looks like whatever does form, if something does form, it would drift slowly into the Gulf of Mexico. that could bring us some much needed tropical moisture. Now I'm going to show you one of the long range models, which is the GFS model. Take this with a grain of salt because, again, we just won't know much about this system until it actually forms. But here's the GFS. It's hinting at something forming. You could see next Wednesday, maybe a tropical storm. I don't think we're going to get a hurricane, guys. Again, we just don't know because it is the Gulf. And I'm going to show you the sea surface temperatures in the Gulf. They're still warm. But I don't think we're going to see, we're definitely doesn't look like we're going to see some major hurricane, okay? But this could bring us much needed rain middle end of next week. So something that we will be watching closely, okay? In terms of our hurricane season, we're at the beginning of November. The hurricane season essentially lasts through December. Look, even though hurricane season is from June 1st, technically, through the end of November, we can get tropical systems year-round. But one of the main ingredients you need for tropical activity is sea surface temperatures at 80 degrees, right? So in the winter months, most of the ocean is well below that threshold. So you just don't, it's very abnormal to see tropical systems outside of the June to November timeframe, but it's not unheard of. I think a couple years ago, we had a tropical system in January, which was crazy. And look, sea surface temperatures, again, you need 80 degrees, which is the bright red, to support tropical activity. Essentially, the entire Gulf is still sitting above that 80-degree mark. The only areas right along the coastline are now sitting below 80 degrees. So the sea surface temperatures are certainly warm enough to support tropical formation. It's just going to be a matter also of if the thing forms, the wind shear and the high levels of the atmosphere, the steering patterns, etc. But not out of the question, especially look at the Caribbean, still sitting at 88 to 90 degrees. So it's cooking, all right? In terms of where we're at this season, NOAA predicted a really hyperactive season at the beginning of the year. We're not too far off from the numbers they predicted. They predict 17 named storms. We're at 15, probably could be 16 by this time next week. We've had 10 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes. That's within that threshold. So they know what they're doing over there at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. I'll give them that. All right, here's your 7-day forecast, guys. Again, a few stray showers tomorrow morning. Maybe a stray shower on Sunday afternoon. Maybe a stray shower Tuesday. If that tropical system starts forming, we may get some moisture Wednesday, so I put us at 30%. So that's something we'll be watching closely. So end of next week and still up in the air. Could get cooler. We could see some rain. That's really the next pattern change, is not until the end of next week. Until we get there, it's just going to be real warm and the continuation of very dry conditions. Okay? I hope you guys enjoy Halloween. What kind of candy are you going to serve tonight? I love Almond Joys, Snickers, Dum Dums, Jolly Ranchers. Honestly, any candy is great. Yeah, Mounds even are so good. I'm trying to think of candies. Tootsie Rolls, I was always pissed when I got Tootsie Rolls as a kid. You know what I mean? It's a fun night to be a kid, and it's going to feel great outside. Okay, y'all, I will see you tomorrow for another edition of Weather Where You Are. Have a great day.